Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast. Oh, let's get about the decision, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on in back again to the Sports Buffoon Studios. Here, soon to be once again out of Lenexa, Kansas, guys. Don't worry, it's just a matter of time. Last week I said Lenexa, Kansas. Jason questioned that. And here in a little over a month, it sounds like we'll be back in the saddle again in the great old Lenexa, Kansas. But in the meantime, we're holding it down the way we are right now. But otherwise, guys, we got Tanner Dawson. We got Jason JG. How you guys doing?
What up, what up, what up?
Doing great, man. I'm still sipping on the water and the non-alcoholic beers. That's what I'm going with right now, dude.
Oh, that's good, man. I'm glad you've been on the NAs for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, man. I love the taste of beer, but I even love the taste of non-alcoholic beer better than the alcoholic beer. So,
well, what's Tanner sipping on over there?
I mean, you guys say anything else?
Oh, they got the 100 proof Old Forester. Man, You know what's so great about that bottle? I haven't bought it in a few months, obviously, but it's like $23 or something like that.
25.
Okay, but it's 100 proof, and it tastes great. I mean, that's just a good whiskey for that price point. I mean, it's solid
every time, man. If the gas station / liquor store right up the way here from me, that's like 2 minutes, doesn't carry it. It's really disappointing.
Yeah,
everybody else does in Gardner, so it works.
That's a good choice. Today, so I've been drinking a lot of Tank 7 lately, and now today I'm on the Space Dust IPA. Those of you on YouTube watching us can see the can there. One of my favorite double IPAs, as a matter of fact. It's just like a classic go-to for me at this point whenever I don't know what else to get. So anyway, that's what I got for the night anyway. So we're going to dig in, of course, to our little Chiefs recap here in a few minutes, and as well as a Chiefs-Eagles preview. Of course, we'll go over the easy money picks, and then our surprise of the week, as a matter of fact. Surprise of week one, honestly, of what we saw from the NFL. So I thought we had a lot of fun in football, without a doubt, over the past weekend. Some really good games. I thought especially Baltimore and Buffalo lived up to the hype 100%. That was exciting, at least. And, that's what we expect to see out of the, I would say the two of the top three teams in the AFC in that game. So,
I mean, what's crazy is we saw Minnesota, Chicago even be a fun game in the end,
It was. I fell asleep at the end of that one because it was getting a little late for me in my old man stage. But otherwise, I saw the score, and overall the game wasn't too bad. It was good to see McCarthy make some good throws. And
it was insane.
Caleb Williams was a little iffy at times, but I think we're seeing things that we kind of expected in a lot of ways too.
Correct,
guys. I know we're starting off on kind of a weird evening, I would say, today. I can't help but just point out to everyone out there listening that it's been kind of a rough, weird afternoon. Ever since the news about Charlie Kirk, who is a political influencer essentially, and just the way that went down with his assassination today. It's been hard for me to focus on my easy money pick of the day and everything else, and it's very unfortunate, the state of the current political climate when it comes to people in society right now. For me, I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat myself, but I think there's something to be said for people out there who can, go out there and express their beliefs, have open dialogue and debate with other people in a professional manner. And I think Charlie Kirk was one of those people that did that pretty well. And to see, someone decide to just create hate in our country the way that they did today and this week in general, he wasn't the only one. And we had the incident earlier this week too, with the young woman on a train in North Carolina. And it's been stuff this week that's kind of bothered me a little bit. So, I can't help but point that out and bring that up today just to start off the show, just because, I hope we can get back on the right track as a society. And I don't know what it's going to take yet, but I at least appreciate people out there who are entrepreneurs like Charlie Kirk was, and people who, didn't necessarily spend time in college, but they found a way to do the things that they love to do and enjoy doing, and can make a profession out of it. And he was great. I also had 2 kids and a wife, and only 31 years old. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to give my best wishes to his family, and everything like that, and just hope we as a society can get back on the right track here sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you said it best.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that not to get into the political side of things, but we are obviously in media, and so anybody that's out there in media, which we're involved in, or anybody who is a journalist, this basically hit your entire industry. And that's and honestly, if you're anybody that has a family, this is something that hits hard. And I would just say that something like that happens to a 31-year-old. Doesn't matter if it's Charlie Kirk or anybody else. None of us know how many days that we have left here on this earth. So just whoever you've got in your life, whether it's your family, your kids, or whoever's in your life, just take the time to let those people know how much you love them, how much you care about them, because everybody's, to a certain extent, I think everybody's days are numbered. So we don't know how many days we have to spend on this earth. So, but yeah, obviously my thoughts are out to Charlie Kirk's family and everybody that's involved in media, because anybody who's involved in media, I guess I would say to a lesser extent, those of us who are involved in sports media, it's a little bit different. But if you're not involved in sports media and you're just maybe more on the political side, you're kind of sticking your neck out there a little bit. And it's my thoughts are out there to anybody who's involved in that industry. Anybody that's out there, in media, specifically in politics, man. I just I'll give a shout out to all those people to do what they do on either side of the aisle, because they got to stick their neck out there, man. And it's not a job that I would like to do by any stretch of the imagination. So my thoughts go out to the media in general, and the people that stick their neck out there, and they take a risk every day that they go to work.
Yep.
Yeah, I just hope we as a country and the people out there who understand that they do have their freedom of expression and speech, that they can continue to go out there and not be scared going forward, to express themselves in the ways that they feel like, in the way, especially like Charlie Kirk did, who I think did it in a, for the most part, a pretty professional manner, and when it opened dialogue and conversation with people of opposing views. I just hope we never get to a point as a country where we try to shut down one side or the other from viewpoints, even if we disagree, because obviously we're all going to disagree at times, and we disagree in sports, every damn day, and our disagreements in sports should never resort to that kind of violence either. So, anyways, to me, it's just a very depressing week in our country. And it's one of those things. I hope people don't give up on what we really stand for as a country, because I felt like today we lost someone who had good intentions for fighting for what this country is all about. So anyway, guys, let's jump into the good news. Well, kind of. Sports news. Anyways, let's jump on into the quick recap of Friday night's game against the LA Chargers in Brazil. Man, it was did not start off well. Obviously, the Xavier Worthy injury right out the gate pretty much shook everything up offensively. Immediately, I think brought down the entire attitude of the team. I think even Travis Kelce alluded to that in his podcast this week. And Kelce also took the blame on the route, which he's right. Kelce did not get upfield far enough to allow Worthy the underneath route, which was supposed to be the route you go to on that play. It's supposed to be essentially a pick play, guys, where Kelce's going to help make it a rub route where the two defenders are going to essentially get caught up in the traffic and allow Worthy a wide open play on that. Well, unfortunately, what happened was Travis Kelce took out his own man almost in a similar fashion to what Patrick Mahomes did last year with Rashee Rice. But great news on that. Xavier Worthy sounds like he will be back at some point fairly soon this season. So according to Andy Reid, no surgery, and he's working on
no IR. So
no IR, he's working on rehab. So maybe he'll be back in 2 weeks. That'd be freaking amazing. But guys, the game itself was pretty frustrating, I thought. I mean, the pass defense was horrible. Shamari Connor allowed a 7 for 7 in his area. Pass rush could not get home whatsoever unless a blitz was called, which Drew Tranquil had 2 sacks, but both times come on that blitz.
Karloftis one.
Which one?
Karloftis.
Karloftis did have one. But overall, it was just a frustrating game, and I was irritated because of the injury to Worthy, but also the defense. Just you felt like the offense was getting it together a little bit, and they were moving the ball at times, and it was a struggle, but it was the defense that just couldn't stop Justin Herbert. I mean, it was just annoying as hell to watch that unfold.
Herbert literally not only passed, and he was really good that game, right? I think we can agree he was pretty accurate where he needed to be, but he also opened that passing game up because he used his legs as a threat, and we couldn't contain either side of it. So it was rough.
Let me ask you guys both defensively, what do you think from what you saw the biggest struggle was on the team in this game? Because to me personally, I think it was a safety play. I think the safeties were out of position too often. I think they allowed some of those big plays. I think that the crossing routes destroyed them on those deep crossers, including the Keenan Allen one in the end zone for that touchdown. And then Quentin Johnston doing his thing. I mean, frustrating as hell. What was the biggest flaw you thought in that game that surprised you with the defense?
Yeah, for me, it was definitely the safeties, as you alluded to. But I think one of the reasons why you had such bad play at the safety position is because of the game planning. And I think that the Chiefs' game plan was just to stop the run the entire game. And so I think that when the Chargers came out throwing, I think that kind of caught everybody off guard. We never made the correct adjustments. And I think the Chargers had the correct game plan. Because, if you're going to beat the Chiefs in general, it doesn't matter if it's this year or the last 5 years, you've got to come out, you've got to throw the ball, you got to put points on the board. And I just don't think that the defensive game plan was prepared. I don't think Spags was prepared for them to do that. But for me, I totally agree with you. It was the play of the safeties.
The aggressiveness of Shamari Connor got the best of him once again, getting beat out there. I honestly, for me though, just to be different from you guys, the interior defensive line. Chris Jones, I didn't see much of a Chris Jones threat in that game or anybody else from that D line. I saw the outsides. I saw the blitz working. I saw Karloftis towards the backfield a lot. But I didn't see nothing else.
Chris Jones was double teamed quite a bit, but here's the thing: if you're being double teamed, where was Charles Omenihu? He played inside a lot in this game.
Yeah,
in those pass rush situations, and he never got pressure on the quarterback. Charles Omenihu, honestly, I mean, he came over as kind of the hybrid D tackle / D end. He's worked out better as a D end than a D tackle. We don't have another interior pass rusher on this team whatsoever, in my opinion. Derek Nottie is not it. Tershawn Wharton's gone. Has been gone now for a while, and
Norman Lott's hurt, so you don't know about him or anything.
Even Omar, you guys know. I think I kind of subtly have told you guys before. Where Jason asked me at training camp if I had to guess who was going to be our bust out of this draft class. I said it quietly, but I said I think Omar is what I said to you.
So far we haven't seen nothing because he got hurt. He was already hurt.
Steve Spagnuolo's not exactly thrilled with him either at the moment. You could just tell by the way he speaks of Omar is that it's been frustrating for him because he can't coach him up or get him integrated in the system. So to me, it's like, okay, so you double team Chris Jones, 1-on-1 versus Noddy every time in pass rush situation. You have no one up the middle. At this point, you're going to rush the edge, with Karl Loftus or Dana or
Gelati,
which even Ashton didn't play very much in this previous game,
no.
but he did make a big play in the backfield at one point.
He did have a solo tackle there in the backfield.
But what that's allowing is something that I think going into this week could be an issue. If you're not getting enough pressure through the middle, you're going to allow the quarterback to be able to step up in the pocket. And when they step up in the pocket, they make one of two things happen. They can either make a deep throw down the field or take off and run, pick up 5 to 10 yards every damn time. Unless you got a spy on them, which even then, facing some of these quarterbacks is not easy to do. So obviously we'll talk about the Eagles here in just a minute, but man, Chiefs are now 0-1 in the AFC West. Every other team got a victory. The Broncos were pretty rough against the Titans, but they got the win. They got the job done. Raiders were, fighting for their lives a little bit, but they got the job done. Man, are you guys concerned after one game so far about what we saw to the Chiefs?
Concerned like not winning the AFC West concerned or
well,
what?
I think going into the year, we all said they'd probably win 12, 13, 14 games, right? We talked about that.
I was in the 11 game mark. I still feel good about that from where we're at.
I'm still staying with 12. I've been saying 12 all off season. I'm going to stay with 12 still.
No.
Yeah, I mean, my concern level is obviously it's going to stay the same because it's just one game. Although I want to hear more as far as how long Worthy is going to be out, because I heard reports of him being out for the whole season, which would change the calculus, a little bit.
That's squashed. Yeah, that was squashed.
Yeah, now if we're saying that he's only going to miss 2 games or 3 games or what, we don't really know how many games he's going to be out. So if we're going to sit here and say that he's only going to miss like 3 or 4 games, my concern level hasn't changed at all. I mean, it's just one game. We lost in week 1 to the Lions that one year, and that season ended up okay. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, in terms of the Chargers, I mean, we got to give more credit to the Chargers because they played a fantastic game. They hadn't beat us in 7 or 8 tries.
See if I can find this crap, dude.
It's like, what do they always say? A broken clock is right 2 times a day. So it's like you can't freaking lose to your divisional opponent that many times in a row. I think in some ways they were just due, and they got lucky, man, because the entire game plan was formulated around Xavier Worthy, and then the dude barely even played. So I think that the Chargers in some ways were gifted an opportunity, and I'm not taking anything away from them. Like I said, they played a fantastic game, but this was a little bit of a gift in terms of having the guy that basically we formulated our game plan around got injured. And then, the Chargers, they step in, they get the job done. So credit to the Chargers, but that was a little bit of a gift from my perspective.
I'm going to show you guys this here, and I want your guys' reaction. I saw this today, showed one of my coworkers, and I was just like, holy hell. Holy hell. This is how big of a win this was for the Chargers, guys. And it's hard to see. I apologize here. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Can't really. But essentially, this is a post by the Chargers official NFL account. So this is official. This is an AI or none of that crap like that. This is an official account. Official quote was, quote, "It's monumental. September 5th will go down in Chargers lore. In my opinion, it was a big win." This is by Jim Harbaugh, by the way. Jim Harbaugh. This is, and then the caption from the LA Chargers official NFL account is a canon event.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I understand being excited about beating the Chiefs, but I mean that's making a big deal out of a week 1 game in Brazil. That's very interesting that they would take it that. I'm glad that they feel good, I guess. good for them to feel good about that. But that's honestly kind of sad, honestly.
Good for them, I guess.
I mean, that's a bit of a stretch from Jim Harbaugh, but
right, yeah, Dave.
That's the way
that's
they
what
feel.
I said too.
You know, it's one of those things. You know, you in this case, the facts can't beat their feelings. Let their feelings override however their facts are. So, if they want to feel that special about it, then you can let them.
Hey man,
it was a little like front page as soon as I opened it today. I was like, no way.
At the end of the day, this might be their Super Bowl. So let them celebrate, man.
Seems to be the way that they acted about it.
Because you know, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they'll get lucky and get a wild card this year, but at the end of the day, they're going to look back on this and say that was our Super Bowl. So, yeah, by all means, let them celebrate it.
There's a guy. Some of the comments. One here's the Charger guy, Herbert for MVP, best Charger win in years.
Really?
That's what he said.
I mean, I thought they played pretty good.
They did.
I mean, for the most part, they played pretty good. The Chiefs kind of offensively beat themselves for a while there, but I mean, overall they played well and all that. But I mean, shoot, man, it's week one game. I can't imagine like making that big of a deal out of it, you know?
Yeah. It's everybody else is pretty much clowning them, so as they should.
All right, guys. Well, we have
pretty unreal.
We have, in my opinion, a tougher opponent coming up this week here. But it is Arrowhead's opening weekend, of course. The Chiefs are at home for the first time of the year. And, you know, playing the Eagles. I mean, a little bit, you know, Jason loves to talk about revenge games, but it's going to be hard, man. The odds are stacked against the Chiefs right now, especially without Xavier Worthy. No Rashee Rice. I mean, you're working with literally Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, and Hollywood Brown are your receivers in this game.
Jalen Royals is not practicing along with Worthy, so most likely another week out without Royals.
He'll be out again, and so it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. I think basically the Chiefs are going to require Thornton to have like a breakout game for this to work, in my opinion, because he's a downfield threat. I mean, the guy's fast as hell still, but you know, I'm concerned about how that's going to work out. I think the Chiefs' running game with Pacheco is going to be something I'm curious if they can get that moving at all. Because last week they didn't even try. I mean, it was like 5 carries for 25 yards or something like that, and I mean, it was ugly. I mean, it was not we're not working. Mahomes led the other
5
team
for
in
25. Yep, Kareem Hunt 5 for 16. So, and Patrick Mahomes led the way at 6 for 57.
And you're facing an Eagles defense, of course, once again, it has pretty much everybody back. I mean, I was looking over the depth chart a little bit, and yeah, you're going to have Mr. Spitter Boy, Jalen Carter, of course, Jordan Davis on the interior. That's 2 great interior D tackles there. And then even on the back end, I mean, still got a bunch of ballers. You got Cooper DeJean, of course, Quinyon Mitchell, Reed Blankenship, Adoree Jackson will be starting in this game, which actually is probably their most beatable cornerback in this game.
Oh, he was very beatable last week. So
yeah, I think that's their best option. But man, it's going to come down to game plan and play calling. It's going to go a long ways in this game, and the odds are stacked against us, guys. So I mean, how are we feeling about this going into week 2?
I think it'll be interesting because I think a lot of people are going to want to see, you know, is Philly just going to keep running the ball? You know, because that's what I would do. I mean, that's the Eagles' identity is just to run the ball, you know, and you know most teams don't want to do that against the Chiefs, but I think the Eagles are going to stick to their identity and just try to run the ball and stop the run because that's what they do best. So, you know, obviously the Chiefs not having the top 2 wide receivers. I do understand why Philly is -1.5 in this game, but you know, to be the Chiefs, you know, you're not used to being a home dog. I mean, that hardly ever happens at Arrowhead. And so, but I understand why it is that way, just because, you know, we don't really have, like you said earlier, we don't have an interior pass rush. The secondary struggled last game, although I do think the secondary will be better this time around because I don't think Philly is going to freaking throw the ball as much as the Chargers did. So I think game planning defensively will be a little bit better for the Chiefs. And I think, honestly, I think it's probably be a little bit lower. It's probably going to be a lower scoring game. And so I think that you're in a low scoring game like that, anybody can win.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if it's low scoring, but I think what was the over under? Is it 46 and a half?
46 and a half.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how that pans out. But what are your biggest concerns going into this one, Tanner?
I mean, how can it not be Jalen Hurts? That's who beat the Cowboys last week, and it wasn't him passing,
especially on third down.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, he could easily sat back there and probably passed for 245 and 3 touchdowns. Instead, he used his legs to go get those first downs and keep the drive going, keep the clock running. Yeah. And that was a big key for Philadelphia there. And I'm a little worried about coming in versus our defense the way it looked.
Well, so here's the thing: you got to spy him somehow, but you can't spy him with Nick Bolton. He's too slow.
No, you can't do that. Chanel's too slow. Drew Tranquil's too old.
Well,
so you got to bring in.
That would be the one that you'd want to have spy him, but then you're taking away.
You want safety though, but then you're taking away safety. A safety.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe this is where Jeffrey Bossa has a role for this game. I don't know.
Ooh, Bossa action.
You got a more athletic guy who has had safety experience a little bit, but also is a linebacker with Bossa. So I don't know. I think that you got to have somebody that's a little more athletic to be able to spy him. It's unfortunate, Willie Gay didn't even play last week with his team right now.
No,
like what's he doing? He plays for the Dolphins, right? I think.
But pretty sure it's the Dolphins.
I think he was inactive. He didn't play a single snap.
The Dolphins are going to sell. Just give him like a 7th round pick. You can get him back.
Yeah.
I mean, how come the Chiefs can't somehow get Willie Gay back on this roster and put him to use? At least he's athletic enough.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, and the Dolphins, who got destroyed by Danny Dimes, didn't even play the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting stuff, but I think that our current linebacker situation is kind of pigeonholed into being run stoppers / penetrators in the backfield in some kind of fashion. But when it comes to spy or coverage, you don't really have that unless maybe Jeffrey Bossa can come in and get some snaps in the game. I don't know. Just an idea.
The biggest thing I'm seeing here is for the Chiefs is they play to the level of their competition, right? And I could see them actually making this a ball game pretty well. At the same time, I could also see Philadelphia with getting their full interior defense back into play, just being monsters and bullies, and once again, and our line just getting ran over. Rookie, welcome to the NFL. We had no left guard, and it's just it might be a rough opening weekend.
Kingsley,
is what I'm kind of indicating.
Yeah, Kingsley is a concern without a doubt at left guard still. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a guy going against Jordan Davis or going against Jalen Carter is probably not going to end up well for that guy at this point. So
there's a lot of concerns I have for this game, not just because Worthy and Rice are out, but just in the general for what we saw in the Chargers game, just in general.
What's been interesting about the Chiefs ever since Andy Reid came here actually is that we've been a very finesse team. Everything that's designed around the Chiefs offense is about misdirection and finesse, basically. We've never had a team who can bully anybody. We have players that can. We have Trey Smith, we have Creed Humphrey. Those are guys that can bully opponents. But as a team and a structure within the offensive structure, it's a very finesse. We're gonna make you think we're going one way and then try to go back the other. But in the meantime of doing that, it's like you're just hoping that they fall for your tricks rather than just freaking manhandling them. And when it comes to a situation like Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, I don't have a lot of faith in how that's going to pan out. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know, man.
I'm a little worried here. So
who's
especially the lack of a run game. The Chargers defense isn't light beat. They're not going to beat you every time in the run game. You didn't even run it. What do you think Philadelphia is going to do with their freaking set in there?
Yeah, I mean, so guys, offensively, what do you feel like the Chiefs need to do to get the ball moving, keep the chains rolling, other than Mahomes scrambling and picking up first downs on his legs?
Well, I did like what I saw in game one from Hollywood Brown. I don't think he's going to get 16 targets again necessarily. I know he had he doesn't seem like he's on the same page with Mahomes right now, but that's to be expected, and I think that's something that he's going to get better at, and I think that I don't mind seeing a lot more of Hollywood Brown in this game, because I think at this point, I mean, if that's your go-to guy, I mean, let's use him, man. I don't think he'll get 16 targets, but I think that I liked what I saw out of Hollywood. A lot of people just think they didn't like the drops or what have you, but I think that's something that we can clean up. For me, offensively, I want to know what you guys think about Juwan Taylor, because I personally think that he's getting paid under the table by a Las Vegas bookie to do his shenanigans the same way that he was doing this stuff last year.
Well, I'm hoping if the Chiefs were smart, they would just say, "Okay, screw you, Juwan Taylor," and Jalen Moore gets an opportunity to start this week. Is what I would say.
Yeah, but it's not going to happen week 2.
I mean, I don't know, man. You got 4 penalties last week. I mean,
it ain't happening.
Everyone's irritated with your ass. Jalen Moore was brought here. He was our number 1 free agent this year, you guys. Was Jalen Moore. Again, he's a backup on this team. He was our number 1 free agent on this roster. He's a backup, guys.
I don't know, man. You guys might think this is a conspiracy theory or what have you. I'm just saying, you had plenty of time to fix him or to clean up the mess, whatever you want to call it. At some point, you're being paid under the table to do this shit on purpose. And for the life of me, I've had enough of it. I don't want to watch it anymore.
Yeah, it's been frustrating for sure. And, even when the Chiefs get the ball rolling a little bit, it's like suddenly Juwan Taylor appears just to cause an issue. So, yeah, I've gotten tired of it. And I can't imagine we go through another week where he's going to go up there and have 2 false starts or a holding or whatever it may be. And
he's going against the freaking Eagles. He's going to get beat, and then he's going to have 5.
That seems like the more likely scenario.
It really does.
The Eagles, because that's a good excuse. Oh, the Eagles drew me off sides, whatever. I don't know who's.
I was getting beat the whole time, man.
That's ridiculous, man. You got to clean it up, and he didn't. Like he had. I'm not giving the dude any more chances. Like you had all the chances to clean that shit up last year, and you didn't do it. So I'm done with him, man.
Yeah. I think it's going to, for this game in particular, the Chiefs got to come out with something really strong from a game plan standpoint for this to work. I just think on paper, especially right now, with the current state of the roster offensively, it's going to be hard to move the ball. When your top guys are Hollywood Brown, who missed almost all of last year, and who's timid, by the way. If you guys have noticed, after the catch last week, was a scared boy, ready for every hit to come his way. Juju Smith-Schuster, who, is honestly probably the most reliable target we have as a receiver right now. But at the same time, is unlikely to be an explosive playmaker for your roster too. And then you got Tyquan Thornton, who was cut by the Patriots last year, had a great training camp, has a lot of speed, but we still have a lot we'd like to see out of him. And then Jason Brownlee, I guess, would be the last option there. And maybe he's more a red zone threat. Of course, you got Nico Remigio. That's true. You got Nico Remigio.
I'm getting Nico.
But man, it's just going to come down to the game plan. If somehow they can come up with something that's really special, then that's going to go a long ways. But otherwise, I think it's going to be hard to move the ball in this game again.
Mike, wouldn't we just say utilize your damn tight ends in this game?
Yeah, Noah Gray had 1 catch for 3 yards.
Freaking Noah Gray, Travis Kelce, help me out, third tight end. Tonyan, thank you. Robert
Tonyan play
Tonyan.
last week? I swear I saw him like once.
I only saw him once.
I mean, we didn't even.
But they didn't utilize their tight ends. They only had 2 tight end sets for like 90% of the game.
So why does Noah Gray have 1 catch last week, especially when he was
that's the thing.
The most reliable, literally the most reliable pass catcher on the roster, 0 drops.
I don't think Andy cares, man. I think this is the year that they want to go deep, no matter what. And I don't necessarily, just because Xavier Worthy is out, I don't necessarily think that Andy is going to change the game plan and start going to the tight ends more. I still think, specifically in this game, where you've got something to prove against the team that you lost to in the Super Bowl, I think they're still going to try to go deep. And I think that's
go deep. That's fine. But utilize your tight ends. That's how you build. That's how you beat. There's mismatches within the tight ends that get covered. A Noah Gray especially. And that's where you can kind of move the ball, get closer, move the third downs. But they're not utilizing the tight ends at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they come out with this week, but it's got to be a great game plan. That's all I can tell you guys. Do you have any other thoughts about the game going into it, just the matchups, or AJ Brown, DeVonta Smith against these?
I think
corners?
AJ Brown bounces back. I think last year we saw AJ Brown bully the crap out of Trent McDuffie, and if he gets those kind of matchups with the McDuffie, I can see AJ Brown having a decent game. I can see DeVonta Smith having a decent game. These are 2 guys that did jack the first week against the Dallas team. Again, where Jalen Hurts, if he really wanted to, would have passed for 250, 4 touchdowns, and been just fine. Instead, he ran the ball 800 times. And if you put Tanner McKee back there, he passes for 280 for 6 touchdowns against Dallas. So, like, it's to me, this is really, 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 it's just a big mismatch all the way around. Truly, to me, it's not set up well for us.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. I would just say McDuffie needs to be on DeVonta Smith. That matches up better when it comes to athletic ability and size, where McDuffie can cover that. As far as AJ Brown goes, I mean, it's just kind of a size mismatch, and you just hope that, I guess, Jalen Watson can do his thing. But even then, you never know with AJ Brown. He's just a great athletic player, of course. It's eventually going to win some one-on-ones. So I mean, I don't know, man. And we haven't even talked about Saquon Barkley yet. You haven't even brought him up. We got to worry about
he didn't get 100 yards last week or anything, but let's. I think we can keep him under 100 rushing.
Probably. I mean, if there's one thing, at least we have linebackers that can stop the run. I don't know if the interior D tackles can or not, but the Chargers also came out last week pretty much firing the ball in the passing game. It felt like, to me, like Hampton was kind of an afterthought, and they handed it off a few times. But I mean, to me, it felt like they wanted to come out throwing it. And I feel like the Eagles could come out even running it and probably be successful with Barkley.
Yeah, very well could. Very well could.
All right, guys. Well, it sounds like we're all a little concerned going into this game. So, do we want to make our predictions?
Let's do it. By the way, real quick here before we go, what did you guys think of this Tank Bigsby trade that went to Philly?
Oh,
after week 1,
I was kind of confused. I wasn't
sure
very
why. Confused too.
They already have Will Shipley as a third down back, receiving back type, and then AJ Dillon, is a big bodied goal line back if they needed to be that a thing, and then Saquon. I mean, honestly, he's a full time. He can do everything, So Tank Bigsby, what role is Tank Bigsby going to have with Philly? It didn't really make sense to me when I saw that trade go through.
I just think they want more horses, man. Like if you're going to try to go back to back, you got to have as many horses as possible. So I think they saw that injury. I think Shipley got banged up a little bit, and maybe that's what triggered the trade. But obviously, I think he had his eye on Bigsby for a while. And I think they're trying to get as many horses as possible.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I remember watching Tank Bigsby in college, and I thought he was a good running back in college too. I think he was kind of fun to watch and all that. And With the Jaguars, I liked him. I thought he had potential. He's just, to me, Bigsby he's a guy. He's a running back who can fill in for a few snaps or here and there, but he's not necessarily an impact player in my opinion.
Jacksonville must really like the rookie, Tootin, whatever he is, whatever his name is, in place, because I was very confused there because Bigsby was being talked about having a bigger role there in Jacksonville. So, I don't know, and then the Eagles had everybody, but yeah, you might be right, Jason. Just get more dogs back in that backfield so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, guys, ready to make our picks of the week for Chiefs versus Eagles?
Let's do it.
All right, Jason, you want to go first?
Yeah, why don't you give me the Tanner? Do you have the what's the or do you have that handy?
It's -1.5 Eagles, 46.5 is your over under.
All right, so I will do. I'm gonna do. Let's do 21-20 Chiefs.
Okay. Hey, I would be happy with a win any way it can happen. All right, Tanner, you want me to go or you go?
I'll go.
All right, what do you got?
32-17. The Philadelphia Eagles.
32-17? Ooh, boy.
That's almost a blow.
You know, I almost don't blame you on that. If
that last seven could be a fourth quarter garbage touchdown. So
depending on how things go, I almost don't blame you for making that pick that way. I think for myself, I'm definitely going more along the lines of Philly 28, Chiefs 21. So I like the Eagles by touchdown, extra point. No Butker, no kickers in this game. Just straight touchdowns, and basically the Chiefs are going to have some issues. And I think it's gonna kind of make a little bit of a wake up call if this plays out the way we think it will for the team, because I think that we're gonna understand that if this team wants to continue to keep the dynasty rolling, then you got to fix a few things. You got to get that veteran secondary presence. At that point, you'll learn Justin Reed was actually a more important part of this team than they realized. Because right now the safeties are young and naive, and I don't think anyone's stepping up to be that leader, other than Nick Bolton. But Nick Bolton's so limited, And then offensively, I think Patrick's going to do everything he can, but at the same time, if you fail on the offensive line, if Kingsley is the one weak link in the offensive line, it's just enough to allow the penetration to get through, to disrupt the entire flow of the game. So we'll see what happens. I hope that we go into this game and Tyquan Thornton goes off for 5 catches and 150 yards. That would be incredible. But I just think it's very unlikely, and I think that the unfortunate situation is our top 2 wide receivers are out, and we're working with guys that haven't played in a while or just are kind of washed up from what they used to be. So, anyways, guys, let's hope for the best. Put it that way. I guess before we jump into easy money, guys, let's hop over to kind of our reaction of the week. Essentially, week 1 went down. I thought we had some great games. I thought the Steelers and Jets was a lot of fun. I watched all of that one. Of course, I mentioned earlier the Bills and Ravens. Even Buccaneers and Falcons was fun. There were some good games, guys. But what was your biggest surprise of week 1, accounting for every game that was played?
Yeah, biggest surprise for me wasn't necessarily the 2 teams that played or the outcome, but the fact that J.J. McCarthy became NFC Offensive Player of the Week after not playing a game of football for 609 days. That was the biggest surprise for me, and especially after throwing a pick 6 in the game, and looking like a bad quarterback, if you want to know the truth, and then making that comeback win even though it was against the Bears, I know like the Bears are probably a bad team or what have you, but if you're making your first start in 609 days against an NFL team, I don't care if it was the Bears. That was an amazing comeback win by J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings, and I think that could be the start of something great in Minnesota. I think he could be a really good quarterback.
All right.
Hey, I watched that whole game, or the second half of the game of the Vikings Bears, and just like all of a sudden it's like JJ got it. He like understood the throws he was making, understood when he had to run, and the defense built that momentum for the Vikings to cause problems for Caleb that they hadn't caused all freaking game long. It was pretty cool. It was actually a really great ending. I will say I was more impressed with that second half than I thought I would be.
Yeah, he played pretty dang well. I think for me, honestly, this week, I was most surprised in the way Denver played against the Tennessee Titans, who I believe could be a bottom 3 team in the league this year. Denver went out there; they had 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. So I think they were -4 in the turnover category. Got the win still, but that's, to me, like I said, the Titans are a bottom 3 team in this league. They'll be picking very early again, and Denver was a team that I feel like, especially Bo Nix, was supposed to walk in there and just light it up and prove to us what he is in year 2 as a quarterback. Now Denver's defense still played very, very well. Of course, that's what kept them in the game. But to me, it was just more of the ineptitude of Denver offensively that I was surprised about.
There's a lot of questionable coaching decisions in those. Sean Payton was very, very, very aggressive in that game. And it was like they were up by like 3 and they were still going for a 4th down. They were still going for it, trying to get and passing the ball out of everything. Like late, I think it's like late in the 4th or mid 4th. So like that, I mean, that was kind of like all game long from what I understood and the things I saw. Very, very aggressive coaching by Sean Payton in game 1.
Well, he did have a nice breakaway run from RJ Harvey, so that definitely helped with things a little bit. But I just think overall, I was mostly surprised that the offense was that bad, and Bo Nix did not play great, especially against a bad team. And I think they'll get it figured out more. But let's just say they're lucky they played against the Titans in week 1. Otherwise, that was going to be a rout if they played against most other teams in this league.
Yeah, so for me, guys, I can go a few different ways, right? I could be like, well, look at the hell of Trevor Lawrence is showing up, baby. Travis Etienne breaking it off for like 145. What a play he had against Carolina. Carolina looking awful.
Talk about Miami. They suck.
I could go down to Miami and Dolphins. Or in Indy right there, the Indy game. Danny Dimes scoring every single drive that he played in.
Yeah.
Like, who saw that? Who saw Michael Pittman be relevant again? As soon as I heard Danny Dimes was the QB, that's the reason why I drafted the second. I was like, oh, yeah, we got a quarterback again throwing the ball that can actually get it to him.
Well, you have just a half-ass quarterback. You just need to upgrade over Richardson is all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you got a guy that can actually pass the ball. So we could talk that route, right? For me, it was how sorry the damn Detroit Lions looked. How sorry they looked, man.
Frustrating, actually.
Oh,
hold on. I was going to say the Packers are a good team this year. They got a lot of talent.
They're going to be a good team.
And offensively, there's a lot of talent too. But yeah, the Lions, who to me was one of the most efficient teams in the NFL last year, it was just they were lost. They could not get it figured out. And Jameson Williams, who just got paid big time, it seems like he wasn't really involved. And Jared Goff, wasn't like taking chances.
23, 5. Sam Laporta led the way with 6 receptions on 79 yards on 9 targets. He was 6 out of 9. That was a nice little stat line for him. As we looked at it, like everybody else, though, Gibbs led the way. Gibbs led the way. 10 receptions
with the Lions, where you're playing at Lambeau Field, but you also lost Ben Johnson, the coordinator, who came up with a lot of great play calls last year over the past 2 years. who's now with Chicago, and now you're in a situation where you're at Lambeau Field and you're missing Ben Johnson as your play caller. Do you think that was something that had to come into play with this?
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it was something to be involved there, right? For this team.
That didn't look like the Lions.
You lost both play callers, right? You lost both guys, both sides of the ball. Yeah. Aaron Glenn went to the Jets, right. Ben Johnson to the Burrs. And yeah, man, I think it played something, but I didn't anticipate it being that bad. And I know MCDC was so embarrassed too within that game, just the way his comments were in afterwards. I don't anticipate seeing that again, but that was very underwhelming.
Well, don't give up on them yet. They were, like I said, they were away at Lambeau Field.
I'm not.
But it's a really good Packers team. So let's give them a little more time, see if they can get it figured out.
They got the Bears this week at Detroit, so they might be okay.
It should help. That'll help get their confidence back up.
Yeah, just a little adjustments. But yeah, that would be my my game there to overlook here. So
okay. Well, I haven't looked at everything coming up this week, but I mean I did at least pick out one game that I believe to be my easy money bet of the week.
San Francisco, New Orleans. No Brock Purdy, no Jennings, no Kittle, no Brandon Ayuk. But I know you got an MVS Sky Moore touchdown combo on that game. I know you do.
MVS is going to get one. Oh yeah, he's going to get one. Sky Moore, by the way, muffed another punt. So just out there keeping track. Anyone out there keeping track of Sky Moore?
Like you never left.
I'm glad I don't have to deal with that. I mean, I'll deal with our injuries because we just have to, but I can't deal with any more Sky Moore. So at least that's out of my worries. All right, JG, you want to kick us off?
Good matchups. Are we doing it?
Let's jump in, man. Let's make
the easy money bet of the week.
Easy money bet of the week.
The easy money bet of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Week 1 recap. Let's get into it here. All right. JG starts his season off with a dub. Green Bay -2.5. Hit. Scored. Did everything it needed to do. JG starts off 1-0 for the easy money bet season. Good job, JG. Starting off hot, baby.
I'm not on the heater yet, man. You got to win 3 in a row before you're on the heater.
That's very true. Myself, I went 1-1. West Virginia's quarterback went out after 2 passes. Well, there you go. Just screw me a couple times right there. So West Virginia ended up losing that game. That was awful to watch, by the way. That backup quarterback they got, disgusting. He is not good. But the Cardinals covered. The Cardinals covered against the Saints. -6.5. They won by 7 or 8. So we got that dub that finished 1-1. And then there's this guy named Mike who he talked a lot of crap last week, guys. He talked a lot of crap. There's a lot of crap on myself, a lot of crap on JG. And NFL Mike, he's the king of all be all. Talking like, oh, you guys better win your bets. And here he is, 0-2. Not only did Pacheco not hit his 9.5 receiving yards, which I early bet at 15. So I was rooting for him because I wanted that dub. But the Bills and Ravens didn't say under 15.5 either.
No, that was pretty wild the way that game unfolded. I mean,
that was actually pretty crazy.
That was not just over, but that was way over. And I told you guys I felt bad about that, and I got to make up for it this week. So
Mike's 0-2 to start the season. This puts the Buffoons total after 1 week 2-3-0 at 40% win percentage.
No, it is still early, obviously, week 1. So
just to be clear, I'm not on the heater. You can't be on the heater until you win 3 in a row. But to the opposite side, we've been talking about an NFL Mike regression. He's not officially regressing until he loses 5 in a row.
I haven't regressed in 5 years on this podcast.
He's 0-2, but he's not. It's not an official regression until he loses 5 in a row.
Well, that's not going to happen. But like I said, we've been doing this now for 5 years. Easy money picks, and every single year I'm well over 50%. So regression is not really a thing.
we believe in you. You're not going to regress. You know, I'm trying to define.
You'll be fine. You'll go like 1-1 today and this week. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm just gonna get back on track, get back to the winning ways, and then after that, get in my rhythm. That's all.
So yeah, so 2-3 for the Buffoons after week 1. Let's see if we can't get back to the positive ranks here. JG, kick us off here for week 2.
All right, boys and girls, we got a good one for you this week. So you guys know, for whatever reason, and you can take this back, I think the last 2 calendar years, I just go Houston, Houston, Houston over and over and over again. I wish Tanner could pull up my record whenever I bet on Houston, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to do it again. So Houston Texans are 0-1, but what I like about the Texans this week going up against Baker Mayfield, what they did last week is they're getting to the quarterback. So they had 3 sacks last week, and you're going to need to get to the quarterback if you're going to be able to beat the Bucs and Baker Mayfield. So they are at home. They're 0-1. They will be 1-1 after this week, and they're going to cover. So I will take Houston -2.5.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Mike?
All right, guys. So I'm coming back with 2 of them for you again. I got to make up for it this time, so I'm keeping it kind of simple, I suppose. Just taking.
Are you going to bet college?
Oh, no, I'm not going to bet college. But, I should have bet on MU last week to beat KU. That would have probably helped me out my record, So
just lucky.
Yeah, it would have been real lucky to that. I don't know what the spread was on that. I think MU was the favorite.
It was 6.5.
Yeah, I would have won that bet. I should have bet on MU.
You would have.
All right, guys. We have a couple, anyways, this time. First one on the list for me, anyways. Bills at Jets. Right now, it's 6.5. I like the Bills to cover. I know you guys aren't going to like this one a whole lot, but I prefer the Bills to cover in this game. Justin Fields played really good last week, but he's due also himself for a little bit of a regression offensively. And I just think Josh Allen's too much for them to handle, and he ends up getting the job done for the most part through his own abilities to win by touch. Just win by 7 points, you guys. That's all we're asking over the Jets, which is very doable. So that's my first on the list. Next one on my list is we have the Seahawks and Steelers. And hey, guys, we finally saw, I think, the real Aaron Rodgers might be back. And I'm hoping that's the case because, he had that horrible experience there with the Jets for 2 years. Or, well, 1 year and 1 game, I suppose. And right now it's -3. Steelers over the Seahawks. And I like the Steelers to cover that over the Seahawks. This is at Pittsburgh, by the way. Keep that in mind. And basically, there's just a lot of talent there in Pittsburgh, something we shouldn't ignore. DK Metcalf looked awesome last weekend, and especially with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball, 4 touchdowns. Everything was rolling really well, and they're just a better team than Seattle is, to point blank. And so for me, I'll have them to win by essentially more than 3, but if it ends up being just a 3-point game, at least I can break even on that one.
Well, you stole one of mine, so that's good. Should make you feel better.
I want to know which one he stole.
It was the Pittsburgh one.
Okay, because I love that one. I didn't love the first one just because a lot of those divisional games are rigged before they even get started.
Yeah, I knew you guys wouldn't like that first one, but I believe in the Bills with Josh Allen enough to win by a touchdown as well.
Yeah, I just don't want to touch that game.
Rigged.
By itself.
We'll see.
All right. Well, we're gonna finish it up here because I don't like doing the same as these guys. So I had a few. Don't worry, we're okay. All right, let's start at the college ranks here. There's this team that we bet a lot. Or didn't bet. We bet a few times over the last few years.
The KU.
No, it wasn't KU. It was the other shitty team, K-State. So we bet the K-State Kitty Cats a few times, and they never come through for me. But somehow, after losing to Army last week, almost losing to North Dakota, losing to Iowa State, this team is still favored to go on the road to a 2-0 Arizona team. who aren't bad. They actually they're not too bad. Somehow Arizona is the dog in this team. So we're just going to keep it simple, guys. We're going to take Arizona money line against K-State. I got it at plus 126 2 days ago. It's at minus 105 today on DK. I still love the line. It's minus 115 for K-State. What an overrated matchup this is here. Give me Arizona for the money line. Heart. Don't even bother with the spread. Just take the money line, run with it. You'll be okay. So I don't see K-State bouncing back this week for that. We're gonna keep it in the state of Arizona, and we're gonna look back at the Cardinals. They pulled through for us last week against the Saints.
As they should.
Now they play Carolina. Yeah, well, barely. But now it's week 2. You played against Carolina. Carolina has to come to your house here, which I do love here. And Carolina didn't look that great against Jacksonville. And I don't think Arizona is that far off from Jacksonville's talent. Well, maybe a little bit, but still, I don't think Arizona is that far of a bad team to not be considered in the same race as Jacksonville here. Kyler Murray's going to have himself a field day potentially here. James Conner's going to have himself a field day. Yeah, we're going to take Arizona once again, second week straight here. It's like riding player and banker, right? Just riding it till it stops. Arizona minus 6.5 in the NFL side. And that's what we're going with. Just 2 bets this week. I got other bets I like here, but those are my 2 locked in bets. Here.
Basically, you're betting against K-State, right?
Yeah.
You're betting for the Cardinals. Okay.
That first one, man. That first one against K-State, man. That almost sounds like an oppo. You should go oppo.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever Tanner says.
There's no shot. Why would you go oppo? This team lost to Army, dude. Who is crap. They lost to some nobody the week before.
Well, every once in a while you go through your stretches, Tanner, where if you just go oppo of whatever Tanner says, you'll win. You'll go on the heater.
Yeah,
okay,
honestly, as
people
like myself,
if you need to know
mainly on the college bets. It's mostly.
If you need to know my college record last week in here, we went 9-3. So if you want to know what my college record is last week, 9-3.
No.
The week before.
It was in the last 2 years. You went on the cooler.
The first 2 years I was trying to figure it out. I got it and figured it out last year.
And you're a professional. You don't need to figure anything out.
Yeah, well, a newer sport that I wasn't following. Now I am, and now we're good. So don't worry about it. Why would I bet? Why would I ever take a bet for a team that lost to Army? And this isn't the same Army as last year.
Hey man,
this is the Army team that lost a week ago.
I tried to make a bet on Mike's bet last week and they kicked it out, but I might have to do that again this week. But I'm going to go oppo of you.
You can't use your credit card.
I might bet 500. I want to bet 500 on K-State, man, just because you said that.
You can't use your credit card, Jason. It's not supported. It's not supported anymore. It's not going to be user error. It's not supported.
Hey, we'll know Friday.
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not supported.
Friday night is that game, so at least we'll know early, I suppose. So I'll be up in Iowa watching that game.
I'll be
Marist Sports Pub.
Just bet your life savings. Put your life savings on K-State, and you probably come out all right.
Well, what's great about that is there's a sports book inside the bar I'll be at for that game. So,
just send Mike a PayPal for 500. I'll put it on K-State.
I'll throw it in the machine for you if you do that.
Yeah. By the way, not financial advice, since I told you to put your life savings on it. Not financial.
No.
I love it. I already double dip. By the way, not only did I throw it in for Arizona minus 105 when it's first dropped for $10, but I had let's make sure I didn't do it again. But I had a bonus bet from Monday night or Sunday. I threw it in at plus 102 for money line. So not only, guys, if you want the confidence level here, look, I'm going down. If it goes down, it goes down. That's fine. K-State must have had a really good game all of a sudden and figured life out, but they look pretty bad. They look bad. And I don't anticipate them figuring it out on the road in Arizona.
Probably not.
Yeah. Are you talking about your confidence level, Tanner?
What do you want to know?
If you have high confidence, that makes me want to go oppo on that bet.
Send Mike the money, dude. Send Mike the money. He'll take care of it. You don't have to worry about your credit card and DraftKings, all right?
I was just mad last week. I had this parlay going. I was going to win $500, and then my under did not hit on that Ravens and Bills game. It asked me the cash out option. You know, I could have made $300, I think, but I was like, oh, I'm going to let it ride, and yeah, I went to.
And then next thing you know, we're in the middle of the second quarter, and you're like, we're a touchdown away.
Oh, I could just tell. I could just tell right pretty early in the game it was not going to go my way. So.
That's to me, that's a good lesson though. Whenever because I thought when you stated that bet on the show, that was one of the most perfect bets that I've ever heard in my entire life. And that's when you know you need to go oppo if it's like a guaranteed perfect situation. Because that's why I tried to make the bet. I tried to bet 500 on it.
That was the most points scored ever in a Bills-Ravens matchup. So
I had a pretty good Sunday. So I threw down. I got a couple extra, like $40 off that game. So do player props. It's fun.
All right. Well, guys, do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, there's a lot of football starting, guys. A lot of football.
Well, I would think so. It's football season, man.
A lot of football.
Yeah, I gotta wait. Apparently, I have to wait. What do I have to wait now? 3 more weeks until the NBA preseason. I got a long wait ahead of me,
dude. Just bet on the WNBA. Just bet on the WNBA, dude.
It's almost over.
You got WNBA and you got Europe basketball to start betting.
Well,
right?
Oh yeah, but you can't bet WNBA anymore. Rebound Queen is like kicked off her team or something like that, suspended. And Caitlin Clark's hurt for the rest of the year. So, like,
yeah, the only thing.
No, I heard the theory was
only
figure out their period cycles.
Only thing you need to know about the NBA right now is that Wemby has been working out with Hakeem Olajuwon and KG. Man, that's the only thing you need to know about the NBA right now.
Is that to keep him in for a whole year?
What?
Is that gonna be able to keep him on the court for a whole year?
No, but he's gonna have all the freaking.
Who the hell cares what he's working with? He ain't on the court. Who cares?
Man. He's gonna be the GOAT.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I heard something about Sacagawea and Hope Solo, but I don't know what any of those things mean.
Now Wemby's gonna be the GOAT, man.
Wemby's gonna be the GOAT for the first 30 games in the season.
Wow.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that later, man. It's NFL season. What the heck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's for a later day. And if you guys come over to my place, you can't talk about all that bull crap with NBA preseason crap. You got to save that for after the new year. You can't talk NBA until January. Okay, I'll give you Christmas. I'll give you Christmas.
I want you to tell me who Chris Paul is playing for this year. That's all I care about.
Is he a free agent right now?
He's still in the league, man. He's still in the NBA.
But is he on a team right now?
I think so.
Well, did he go back to the Clippers?
I was hoping that I wanted him to go back to the Suns.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. The Suns are a disaster. So not that I want Chris Paul anyway, but just saying. Oh, all right, guys. Well, I guess that's pretty much all for this week, I suppose.
Hey, Royals won.
I saw that.
Avoid of the sweep. Avoid of the sweep.
Yeah, that's good. I would be nice if they'd win many more, but I don't have a lot of faith.
The Rangers just left the Brewers.
They're in the hunt for the wild card, dude. That's all that matters.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I mean, with all that said, man, I think I said all my things I needed to get off my chest today. We'll be back, of course, in a week, and hopefully it's not a sad week. Hopefully we have more positivity within the country and within sports and within the Chiefs, man. Within the gosh darn Chiefs kingdom. Tyrann Mathieu banging the drum on Sunday. So hopefully that brings some energy to the team and to the defense, especially those damn safeties. And we'll see how that plays out. And I'll be planning on getting back into town around that time of kickoff. I'll be up in Iowa for 2 days. So. All right, guys. Well, with all that said, then I will see you all on the next one.
Outro.
See you guys.